All right, what's going on, guys? So this is just gonna be a quick, brief video. I don't want to go in over 10 minutes, pretty much, but this is gonna be like how I started making $400 a day trading options, right? And I had to basically systemize it, right? I had to systemize it to make my losses a lot smaller than what my winners were, because as options traders, we do take losses, and we have to be accepting of that, but we have to adjust how these losses affect us, right? So that's when you start systemizing your risk to reward ratios, right? And how your winners and your losers are, right? So this is how I started, finally starting to reach that level where I can start consistently making 400. When I first started, I was making about $50 to $100 a day. And over time, of course, you get better. It's like if I were to play tennis, right? If I were to play tennis today, I'd probably be trash. But if I start playing tennis for 3 years straight, probably gonna be good by my third year, right? And that's how it kind of is. I was only making $50 a day. Now I'm in my third year in, making $400 a day. And I'm sure in my fourth, fifth, sixth year, I'm gonna be hitting $1,000 days and more, manifesting it right now. Watch this video later. Watch, it's gonna be crazy. But I already know it's gonna happen, right? So let me show you guys, right? The how you systemize your risk reward ratios. You're gonna want a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio on all your trades, right? So what I mean by this is, first and foremost, you need to have a strategy. You need to find your edge in the market. For me, it's ABCD setups and supply and demand zones. I'll just give that out to you guys. And those are the setups that have helped me the most reach this total, because it already gives you the risk reward for you. It has your stop loss and set, and it has your take profit and set. So this system has already been structured for me to give me this ratio right here. So I wanted to do a quick example, right? So let's say I'm trading with a $1,000 account, and this is when I was first starting, right? So this is how I was making $50 to $100 a day with the 1K account. I would divide my $1,000 account by 5, right? Because I'm not going to throw the whole 1,000 into one trade, right? So 1,000 divided by 5 is equal to $200, right? So I would throw about $200 per trade. And now let's say I have a 50% win ratio. So 5 out of 10 trades I get correct, but the other 5 trades I get wrong, right? And 50% ratio is not great. It's not the greatest win ratio, but let's just say this was the win ratio, right? I can still be profitable with a 50% ratio if I stick to this 2-to-1 risk to reward setup, right? So let me show you guys, right? So if I were to throw $200 in one trade, and I'm aiming for that two. So let's say that two is 20%, right? So if I get 5 trades correct, then I make $40 on 5 trades, right? 40 times 5 is 200, if I'm not mistaken. So I would make $200 on those 5 trades, right? But let's say the other 5 trades I get wrong, but I stick to that one stop loss, meaning my losers are smaller, which would be about 10% loss, right? So my losses will be $20 out of those 5 trades. I lose $100. So even though I had a 50% win ratio, my winners were bigger than my losers. And you subtract that 200 minus 100, right? That 200 minus the 100. And I still profit $100 by the end of that week, right? And that's how you systemize this if you're going a small account, right? So it's a lot different now that I'm trading with bigger numbers, but it's the exact same system that I provide right here, right? So let's say I'm trading with a $10,000 account, right? Let me delete all this. If I'm trading with a $10,000 account, not every trade deserves to be thrown $2,000 into. Depends on the setup that you have in front of you. But if I were to throw $2,000 in one trade, just like how I throw $200 in a trade, let's say I throw $2,000 per trade and I aim for that 20%, right? And this is the same thing, right? 2,000 times 20%, it should be, right, $400. And with that one trade, I will hit the daily goal of $400. And it's the same thing of throwing 200. But of course, like I said, over time, you start building confidence to build up your position size. But not, like I said, not every trade deserves to be thrown $2,000 in. So sometimes I'll throw, $1,000 in. Sometimes I'll throw $600 in. Whatever you feel comfortable with at the level that you're currently at, right? But this is how you start to scale up. But sticking to that 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, and this is a tool on TradingView. Right here on TradingView, you go here to the left, and it's going to be long position or short position depending on which direction you're going, right? In this scenario, let me show you guys an example that I took this Friday, and I took this NVIDIA trade right here, right? And I had this is an ABCD setup where we make a nice move up. We hit a pullback, and I like to pick it up off the pullback with confluence. In this scenario, I had a fib retracement confluence, and I had the 9 EMA confluence. We were starting to break that key level right here, holding up strong. NVIDIA popped up with volume. So I had a stop loss below that 9 EMA right there. And I had to take profit of the high of day, which was my first take profit. And now look at that risk to reward ratio. See where it says 2.36? I now have a 2-to-1 ratio, right? So therefore, my target is at recent high of day, which is right here. I'm already hitting a 2-to-1 ratio. But in this scenario, NVIDIA shows strength. So I took it to the next resistance, and I was able to catch a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And that's how if you're focusing on high probability setups, then more than likely you're going to hit more than a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? You can hit a 3-to-1, 4-to-1. This scenario, I hit a 6-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? But it's focusing on high probability setups. This is why finding your edge in the market is so important, right? Sticking to what's working for you. Journaling is so important so you could see what's working for you and see what isn't working for you. But this is how I kind of structured my risk to reward setups on a lot of my trades, right? And if we go back here, there is 252 trading days in a year. So out of 252 trading days in a year, if you're averaging 2 to 400, if you're averaging 200, you're making 50K on the year. If you're making $400 a day, you're making 100K on the year, which is amazing, right? Of course, even if you make $100 a day, I believe it's 25K a year extra on top of what you're already doing. So it just comes down to finding your edge, sticking to it. And I'm sure you guys are going to get to that level. Just don't give up, keep back testing your strategies. And yeah, I'm going to start making more educational content like this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Gonna not try to make these too long, but I'm going to start doing a lot more of these. So yeah, hope you guys have a good day and found some value in this video. You guys have a great day.